rise again to glory then, soaring to the sky. If you stop and see, then you just might believe we're unstoppable, powerful, enough to beat the odds. If you love me, you will see the flames inside of me.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Seduce Me, the Demon of War. Wow, that was really fast. Gonna lay off that sugar. So it's been a while since I've recorded. I've been a little busy doing stuff that doesn't involve this. You guys hate me for that, don't you? Anyway, we're loading, and fuck. And November 6th. Wow. Wait, it's November. Is it November? It is November. Okay, never mind. I thought it was like a month ago that I recorded, and I'm just like, doesn't feel like it's been that long. Anywho. With a laugh to Diana, I led her back to my room, where she sat tiredly on the bed. The exhaustion in her face was clear, and her body quaked from overexerting itself. I now understand where we are. Good, the tribal dance, the do-do-do-do-do. I bet. You dance so beautifully, Diana. With a smile, Diana looked up at me and blushed a bit. To see her face go a slight pink made her look so adorable.
You flatter me, dear.
Sorry. I could only smile before she slowly stood back up and took my hand. Surprising me, she kept her head down, however, which made me even more confused as to what she was doing. Diana?
Dear, I'm sorry.
For... Huh? For what? Diana grimaced a bit before looking up at me with serious eyes. They flicked back and forth between red and gold. I know what she needs! 2 games? 5 incubi? Come on. I'm no noob at this. But she stood her
For
ground.
the intolerance from my kind. Humans aren't exactly welcomed in this world.
Okay, totally misread what she was doing. Alright, whoops. That's what this was about. I understood completely, but it seemed to hit Diana the hardest. After all, she was the one who brought me to this world. I cupped Diana's cheek and smiled at her, causing her expression to go from shame to surprise. Diana, it's alright. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Get steam, bro. Yo. Whoa, that flash was unnecessary. Borderlands. Uh-huh. Yeah, that's the last thing I played. Ew, community got... What? Okay. Damien? No. Well, it doesn't fucking matter because it's all about Sarah. Sarah. I'm very hyper. I'm so sorry. I love you. Might have just made the biggest mistake of my life. Diana hissed her breath. It was true, though. I had grown to love her for everything she had done. She was brave, powerful, beautiful, everything I desired in a person. My heart beat wildly for her, and I could only pray that she understood my feelings. Diana looked to her hands, her eyes watering a bit. I instinctively wiped her eyes, a bit with my fingers, now concerned. Diana?
I don't know what love is.
The thing you feel when you can tolerate somebody. How do you explain love to somebody who's never felt it? Well, I don't know. I stared dumbfounded. She didn't know what love was? However, she surprised me by placing a gentle, shaking hand on my cheek, leaning in.
But I'm willing to learn, if it's with you.
Swoon. I gasped slightly, seeing the earnest and care in her eyes before she closed them and gently planted a kiss on my cheek. Eat it, Sarah! Alright. A soft shudder ran down my spine as I felt her soft lips pressed against my skin. Kiss her again. I couldn't take it anymore. I needed to kiss her! Yes! I was waiting for it! Alright, just my butt in my chair. We're getting ready. Crack your knuckles. Stretch. Everybody stretch. Don't want to pull a muscle. Alright. I pulled Diana close and wrapped my arms around her neck, capturing her lips with my own. She gasped, surprised at my sudden eagerness. but slowly began to melt into the kiss between us. Her lips were as heavenly, as the night I first tasted them. Her arms gently wrapped themselves around my waist, pulling me close to her body. The jangle of her brute dancer garb echoed in the room. Forgot she was still wearing that, making me smile slightly at the noise. At the surprise noise. There we go. I had nearly forgotten that she was still in her dancer outfit. Well, playing the character, are we? Yes, we are. On their own, my fingers slowly danced down Diana's shoulders and traced over the seams of her outfit, making her body shudder ever so slightly. Was she enjoying a mere touch that much? Do I have, like, some chapstick? Because I can't handle what is happening right now. And I really need some chapstick. Excuse me as I just feel around my Nope, I have a banana peel, though. You think the life of May. Or was she hungry for energy? Herpa-derpa, she's been dancing for 6 hours. I pulled away slightly, seeing her eyes dance between red and gold, some control trying to be maintained within her gaze on me. She was out of energy and she needed more than just a kiss. For now, I would take it slow. So, I don't know what it's called in lesbian terms. Like, what is on top for lesbians? Like, what's that called? I don't know. But are we the topper? Are we the cherry on top? Shut up, May. I don't know what you're talking about. I leaned back in and kissed her again, this time biting her lower lip and enticing her to let go of the control she had. I wanted her to relax and for me to be the one to comfort her and hold her against me. Aw, how sweet. Maybe it was because of the call her succubus body had on me, or maybe it was because my heart desired to be with her that much. I didn't care, but I obeyed the command of my heart to drive her to pleasure we both craved. How, though? Like, do you even know how to... do you know how to... Can you do this, Sexto? I believe in you. The night would be for us, and the warmth of the afterglow would be exquisite. Dana released an almost carnal moan against my lips. Oh, great! And tightened her grip on my waist, almost slamming my body against hers. Is that kind of sound? My plan was working. What are you planning, girl? And she was falling for my temptations. I couldn't help the smirk that painted itself across my face at this gesture. Wow, we're turning into James now, are we? In return, I quickly brushed my hands up Diana's body and combed my fingers through her hair before gripping her horns. Combed my fingers through her hair, and then it got stuck, because her hair looks so thick and tangly. Oh, God. Quality voice acting here, folks. To my surprise, Diana released a moan against my lips, causing me to pull away and stare into Diana's surprised eyes. A blush ran across her cheeks, but her gaze melted into one of lessened desire as I held her horns in my grasp. Yay! We're doing the horns thing again! Were her horns her weak spot? Oh, yeah. I gripped them harder. Say my name! Say my name! I was right. I pulled Diana closer to me with her horns and almost slammed my lips into hers. Smacking faces, my goodness. I wanted to devour the moans she was releasing. I felt myself become more passionate in the kiss between us, needing to feel more of her. Well, you do that, Sexto. I'll just be over here playing the PS4. Dana dug her nails into my hips. Woo. And practically... What was that? Woo. And practically pushed me onto the bed behind me. Okay. Causing us to bounce in the matches. Woohoo! I reflexively released her horns and felt my hands fall back on either side of me as Diana smirked down at my form.
You're not playing fair.
Is that her butt? Is that her butt? Yeah, okay, but what? I'm sorry. I'm going to continue. But is that her? Okay, nope. Wait. What is that? Alright. I felt a small warmth ignite in my core, pleading with me to ravish her again, but I felt myself become lost in her dominant gaze over me. I felt the clothing on my body become uncomfortable, and I wanted to take it all off beneath her. My dog became uncomfortable and decided to leave. But I remained locked in her sight, and seriously though, is that a butt? Because I don't know. Diana ran a hand along my... Jesus. Ran a hand along my cheek and traced a finger to my body slowly. Its dance over each curve it found lovingly and sending... What? Slowing its dance over each curve it found lovingly and sending shivers up my spine. I am so sorry. Look who's talking. Adina tugged before leaning in nose to nose with me.
Let me make you feel good.
Do it! I dare you. I've been through 5. 5! You got competition. At last, Anna became the one who initiated our kiss. Her hands pressing down on my waist to pin me to the bed beneath us. Oh boy! I wrapped my legs around her waist, pulling her up to me and causing a chuckle to echo from between our lips. Is it that funny? Is it that funny because we don't know if that's a butt or not? I don't know. Her hands began to comb over my skin and tug my shirt off my body. But I need that. I felt her pull away to strip it off of me. It was tossed to the side to be forgotten. Poor shirt. For our focus remained on each other. I felt myself turn red at what we were slowly diving into, taking in the fact that I had initiated a dance with the succubus I'd grown to love. It wasn't fair that she was in control, but it was only natural. Really? I had barely noticed the garb over Diana's body disappearing. Well, that's the way to do it. Leaving her bare over me. Nothing new. Despite the purple taint over her skin covering her essentials. Good job. I could tell that she was still very much nude from just the heat between us. Nice. Adina's kisses trailed down my cheek and neck, nipping over my skin and making the warmth within my core burn even hotter in need. Every kiss and touch she placed on me made my mind spin and dance in endless waves of soft euphoria. I don't like that word for some reason, and I don't know why. I knew that this wasn't her first time being intimate, but I could tell that every touch she made, she only did for me and my own pleasure. Seto was just at the door listening like, you son of a bitch. She truly indeed intended to make me feel good. I became like putty in her hands, my own eventually resting above my head as I let her strip me bare and massage every inch of my body. She didn't just kiss over me, she made every muscle in my body obey her with her fingers and palms. So, she's a masseuse. Alright, gotcha. So this is what this is. Alright, it's not sex, it's massage. It's a 90-minute massage, alright. Even as her tongue licked over my most delicate spots, ew. She took great care in watching my reactions and listening to my moans. Again, Seto's like, you son of a bitch. Working her way into my mind, body, and soul to tie them all together in a heated frenzy of lust and desire. It was truly the work of a master succubus, and I was able to call her mine. Even as my cries echoed through the room, she didn't stop until I was floating on cloud 9. Her pleasure came from moans and multiple releases, filling herself with my energy and devouring the pleasure we shared hungrily and lovingly. I was in heaven in a succubus embrace. Succubus's, I don't know. I barely could register her arms around my form as she held me close to her and kissed over my hair.
My sweet love, I will hold you close for as long as I can.
Yep, that's what I need. More sugar. More of this pink lemonade is not doing anything for me. And I will be with you. I will be you forever, yep. I will be with you forever. My heart fluttered at the feeling ebbing within my chest. Ebbing? I was happy, and I would keep this happiness close to me for as long as I lived. 5 hours later, I woke after a peaceful sleep, staring up at Diana. She leaned back against the bedpost, reading a book I didn't recognize. As it started to shift, Diana looked down at me and grew a loving smile.
Good morning, dear. Ready for today?
Depends what today is. Despite feeling the tired effects of the morning, I nodded with a smile of my own. I could tell that today was going to be a good day. Diana closed her book and placed it on the table beside the bed before standing and stretching her body. However, mid-stretch, Diana froze. In fact, the entire room became frozen as if time itself had stopped. Diana. I felt myself move freely despite the air around me being still. I stood from the bed and walked around to Diana, seeing her frozen like a statue. What was going on?
Human.
I knew it! I freaking knew it! What? You need something? I assume you heard. My heart froze as I looked to see Seto by the corner of the room, arms crossed and glaring at me, and a stare cold as ice. What was he doing? Seto, what are you?
Come with me.
I don't want to. I'm naked. What's with the dramatic music? Without another word, Seto left the room into the hall. I was massively confused, but followed, now worried what would happen if I didn't. As we walked down the hall, I was stunned to see every person in the castle frozen in time. How was this possible? What was Seto doing? Why, what, where, when? How was Seto doing this? Seto was silent the entire walk. Eventually, we walked to the gold set of doors which led into the chamber her family was killed. I hesitated, staring warily at Seto before seeing him open the chamber. To my surprise, the room changed from a nursery room full of blood to a view of outdoor space. As far as I could see were trees and plant life. I suddenly lost my ability to read. Bustling and full of life. What the hell? Seto stepped in and waited for the door. Waited at the door, my gosh. Ushering me inside. I followed, despite every nerve in my body yelling at me to run back. I had to see this through, whatever this was. Seto led me to into the forest of trees, making sure I was able to see him the entire time, until he reached a patch of land with a singular large tree covered in pink and purple petals. Whoa. I found myself become entranced at the sight. What was this place? Why was it here? As I examined the tree, I noted the major abundance of fruits and branches. I smiled, knowing exactly what they were. Sweet flowers.
You know of them?
Apparently. I nodded. Diana gave me a slice of one in the human world. They were the best thing I ever tasted. I could faintly remember the taste of it. It was perfectly sweet and moist. I was so full of energy after that day I was hardly able to keep it all in. Seto let out a small chuckle, drawing my attention.
I was barely walking when I had my first taste. My lady climbed the tree and picked it herself before splitting it open down the middle and giving me one of the halves.
That is so cute! I slightly smiled, imagining a young Diana and Seto doing such a thing. As my gaze wandered to the tree, I spotted the crowns of Diana's parents and sister at the base, making me frown a bit. At the sight, Seto let out a small sigh.
Tell me honestly, do you truly believe you can make her happy?
If I follow the guide, yes. I looked up to Seto, surprised at the question. His face was stern and serious as he gripped his spear in white-knuckled grip. Why was he asking such a question? With a nod, I took in a breath and stood up straight. I do. Oh, fuck. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay, so if I choose I want to be the one to make her happy, I get the right choice? I'm thankful for you and you! I want a threesome! I know you love her too! Threesome! Woo! I didn't want us to fight over this like children. Yes, I loved her, but so did he. Who was I to push him away? After all, he had served her for his entire life. Seto stared hard at me, taking in what I was saying before raising his spear and pointing it at me.
You truly love her?
I'm not gonna fight you for her! I do. I'm sorry if that upsets you. A moment passed. What would Seto do? I prayed that he wouldn't strike me down. I hoped that he was willing to listen and compromise. How do you compromise? Again, threesome. A small chuckle escaped Seto's lips, causing me to look at him in confusion. His face painted his concern and his strange thoughts on this almost humorous situation. As he lowered his spear, he shook his head.
It doesn't upset me. I just want Azir to be happy.
As do I. Seto locked eyes with me, gazing into my soul and judging my words for their truth. I was being honest, and truly, to know that both of us cared about and loved Diana was amazing to fathom. Eventually, Seto smiled slightly.
Then, maybe it's best that we both try to make her happy.
Yes, 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 yes! Again, way too... I drank, like, I don't know, 3 cups of lemonade today. Just before I started this, I'm on my 4th. Help! I smiled and nodded, happy to know that he understood. This wasn't a contest, nor was this something to fight about. If we both loved her, then the best thing to do was to both shower her in love we felt she deserved.
What is going on?
Oh dear. Whoa, my voice reached a new level I didn't think it could. Seto and I suddenly looked to the direction of Diana's voice, seeing her completely red in the face in anger. As she walked forward, Seto bowed his head in submission.
My lady, I
asked Seto if we could talk in private. Diana stopped walking and stared at me with the most confused look I had ever seen. I giggled a bit before stepping to her and taking her hand. Sorry, damn hiccups. We needed to chat about a little something about you, of course.
About me?
We were wondering if that was a butt or not. I nodded with a grin before walking over to Seto and placing a hand on his shoulder, making him look up at me. I lowered my hand and offered it to him, helping him stand up before continuing. We are both in love with you, Diana. The look on Diana's face was both hilarious and adorable. Her face turned completely red as she darted her eyes back and forth between us both.
I
am so sorry.
E.V.E.R.
Seto took a step forward and took one of Diana's hands as I did the same with her free hand. Diana looked back and forth between us, now completely in shock and uncertainty. Seto and I couldn't stop the smiles on our faces at the sight.
We love you and want you to be happy.
I gotta sneeze so badly. If it takes both of us to do it, then we'll happily do everything we can to assure that happiness. My heart felt like I had made the right choice. Seto loved her and so did I. There was no need to lay claim to her when she was deserving of ultimate love. If it was something we could both provide, then it was well worth sharing. Diana's eyes began to water. She looked down and tried to catch her breath before Seto and I could worry. However, she softly chuckled.
You both are such fools.
But it's a genius plan. For a moment, Seto and I became the ones confused. But as Diana looked back up at us with a happy smile, soft tears running down her cheeks.
I don't deserve either of you, let alone both of you.
That's where you're wrong, E.V.E.R. Wow, I've never said that, have I? I stepped forward and softly kissed Diana on the lips, making her gasp and stare at me wide-eyed. As I pulled away, I grinned. You deserve all the happiness in the world. Seto stepped forward and placed a kiss of his own on Diana's lips, causing another gasp to erupt from her, making the blush on her face deepen.
And we would be honored to grant you that happiness.
Diana couldn't help sobbing and covering her face with her hands. Seto and I quickly rushed to her sides, embracing her and sandwiching her between our bodies. We didn't want to upset her. Her body shuddered between ours before she took in a couple of deep breaths, trying to calm down. Seto and I, however, began to pepper kisses along her hands and cheeks, wanting to comfort her. Wow, this is something. Okay. It was hard to believe that we agreed on something, but Seto and I both wanted the best for Diana, and both of our hearts wanted to be with her. As long as we were open about it, we would be okay. We were completely happy. The energy that sparked within Diana completely filled her with power, giving her the strength to completely annihilate the Demon Lord's army almost single-handedly. What many expected to take years to accomplish, Diana took days. Every attack that the Demon Lord threw at us ended with him becoming utterly defenseless, soldierless, and powerless. Despite him managing to escape each time, we dwindled his troops to a mere handful of imp demons. Soon, we had cornered him against a stretch of water called the Decaying Sea. Didn't you two fall into that? At one route? Yeah. In his castle. Seto, Diana, and I stood upon a cliff top, staring down at the legions that had gathered below us, as we mentally prepared ourselves for what would be the final battle.
To think this will finally be over.
Holy crap, what is this, the third episode and we're already at the war? I think that is the quickest that has ever happened. It makes me a little happy.
Once it is, you will become the new queen of this world.
I looked over to Diana, seeing a soft glimmer of fear on her face. Was she not prepared for that responsibility? I took her hand, causing her to look at me in surprise. As I nodded, I let a grin paint over my face. You'll be an amazing queen, with a hiccup. Seto smiled as well, taking her other hand and making her look over at him.
That you will, and we will support you until the very end.
Diana's face what was that? Sorry, it's a little blink. Diana's face completely turned a beet red as Seto and I smirked at each other. We quickly leaned in and kissed both of Diana's cheeks simultaneously. This is the weirdest thing I've ever been a part of. Literally the weirdest thing. Causing her to gasp and straighten up like an arrow. During the time before the siege, Seto and I managed to work out our differences and found ways to double team against Diana whenever she was feisty, stressed, or needed care. I had to admit, we were the perfect duo. Diana shook her head violently and glared at both of us before pressing a kiss to each of our lips, causing us to shut up the laughter we had released upon seeing her blush. Wow. Diana looked at the crowd and stepped forward, slightly arching her back towards the legions below. She no longer was just Diana. She had become the mighty queen of the rebellion, one that I loved with all my heart.
Milites! Et hoc liberati sturai tramcun tuis omnibus conversiris. Sto vobiscum reducitic vos ad spem. Nocte, lavabir mur, arcem, hostium sanguine.
1 second. Sir, had to type a message.
Ele dio dominati sun nostri.
You know what, Diana, nobody does understand what you're saying. Okay? We're just gonna skip. Data summoned her saber, letting it shine brilliantly as the purple taint over her skin began to twist and turn. Before my eyes, the taint on her back took shape, lifting off Diana's skin and morphed into her beautiful demonic wings. I watched with pride as Diana's body... Get here, mouse. Ugh. I watched with pride as Diana's body lifted off the ground and began to fly over the legions, slowly gliding towards the castle.
To war! To battle!
Woo! In the 3rd episode! It's like the final episode now! Holy crap! Quickest route ever! And that cry marked the dawn of change. The demon world would end the age of the Demon Lord's tyranny and begin the age of united peace and prosperity. With Diana soaring through the air bowed to her and proved her worthy of such power. As I stared, time around me slowed as I took in everything that had happened. We were at the end of this war. Where would we truly go from here? Again, 1 second. Okie spadokie. Who knew? But I knew that I would be at Diana's side forevermore. I managed to seduce her into bringing... Seduce her? Really seduce me? Seduce her. The trilogy. Yeah. That'll be the 3rd game. I managed to seduce her into bringing me to the new world and experience everything. We were in love and I was certain that she would become the beacon of life, not only for me, but for every demon in this world. Boop. After all, she managed to seduce me too. Well, there it is. The Demon War was only the beginning of our lives together.
Well, you did it!
What?
Congratulations! You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am very surprised at how it turned out.
I am very surprised that this is the 3rd... Okay.
Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end. Whether it was for the better or otherwise.
Seriously, it's not even 30 minutes yet.
I mean, come on. You got to be with a succubus and help her fight in a war.
Wow!
How crazy is that?
This is crazy. It's crazy.
You even got her to admit that she is in love with you. Go you!
Woo!
Demons are very hard to convince that you love them. Tell me about it. I know.
You know? Okay.
Anyways, you've been through a lot, so...
I've been through nothing. It's been 3 episodes.
Huh? You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I mean, I guess I could tell you.
I wasn't even there for the war.
After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated. Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new authority. You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the Demon Lord was what brought the entire world together. The final battle between Diana and the Demon Lord became quickly one-sided, as he was no match for the power she had gathered from your love.
Well, how would I know? Huh? How would I know?
Guess the power of love really does conquer all.
I guess.
Anyway, when the war ended, the entire rebellion celebrated as Diana presented his head to the masses like a trophy before burning it and letting the ashes sink into the ground.
Alright.
The day after, she became queen of the demon world. It definitely shocked her, and it took her a while to get used to being called Your Highness by the other demons, but you helped her through it.
I guess.
Well, you and Sarah.
Yeah.
Both of you pretty much became her anchors and support the entire time through her coronation and beginning to rule the world.
And then we started fighting over her. One shall die! Seduce Me, the trilogy.
Zero, being told of the deal she made with you, convinced you to stay in the demon world with them, so that you'd be with her for the rest of your life. Though, I didn't think it was hard to convince you, was it?
I guess not.
You love the dickens out of her, come on!
Shut up, baka!
Still, from what I hear at least, the three of you live happily ever after.
Right.
Huh? You don't believe?
No.
Alright.
No.
Check it out for yourself.
No. I don't want to see this. I beg you not. The demon world finally knew peace. It was a grand moment, the sounds of a million cheers echoing and burning themselves in my memory in celebration for the end of the war that I apparently wasn't there to see. Diana had finally destroyed the demon lord. Diana had finally destroyed the demon world. It is over. No more Seduce Me. And soon enough, we would watch her become the matriarch. I don't fucking know. Of the Abyssal Plains, uniting the entire world under her rule. It was almost too unreal to experience and see, as a human. However, I was happy for Diana, and I was proud to stand beside her and support her through it all. The war was an experience and a half. The war was an experience and a half, because apparently I wasn't there to see it, and I would never forget it for as long as I lived. As for me, I found myself drawn to Diana, hoping to spend every night with her in my arms, and settle tucked in the middle. The human world became a faintly drifting memory of my life, embedded itself into the demon world. What? Many demons questioned me, but Seto and Diana defended me with every conflict that came. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't wonder, did I make the right choice? It was a heavy chapter in my life, one that tested the love between me and Diana. My heart seemed to remind me that I had come to the demon world to help Diana, and now it was time for her to honor her end of the deal. She had to teach me everything about the 5 worlds and about magic. As a queen, that wasn't possible now. To my surprise, I didn't seem to mind. I had been given the experience of a lifetime, and I easily accepted it as a promise fulfilled. The faint memory of my own power slightly tingled through me every time I grew confident, eagerly reminding me that I had strength of my own. I would never let anyone become between me and Diana ever again. Don't forget Sato. And the thoughts of it all echoed in my mind as I laid in bed, looking up at the ceiling. With a wide smile on my face, despite the danger being real, the war was an adventure fun to look back upon in my memories. I took in a deep breath and let out a sigh, leaning back against the arm beneath my head, closing my eyes. I was at peace and everything was all right.
Are you okay, dear?
Sato's face is like, Diana, I can't. This is. Oh, I'm in pain. Oh, I'm in pain. We made the right choice. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. We made the right choice, everybody. Alright. I open my eyes at the sound of my pet name, looking up to see Diana smiling. It's just like we're her children. What the God, I gotta take a breath. Looking up to see Diana smiling down at me. I can only giggle and cuddle into her embrace. I was just thinking about us.
Who are you now? What about us?
With a smile, I nuzzled Diana's chest softly and closed my eyes, listening to her steady and loving heartbeat. How thankful I am to be here with you. I keep looking at Seto, and it's killing me. Diana stared down at me, gently hugging me to her. I could feel her own joy at the situation resonate from her embrace as she, as her kiss over my head, said only chocolate as you. As he laid on her other side. This is what, like, 2, 4, 8 packets of pink lemonade mix does to you. As he laid on her other side, listening to us speak to each other. Seto and I had gotten over our differences, and I was positive that we would be perfect together in taking care of our demon queen. We both adored Diana and found each other both equally held close to each side of her body every
I
morning.
am thankful that you're here too. Both of you. You have done so much for me. And I will cherish you forevermore.
Fucking hell. It's supposed to be a sweet moment, but I can't. I literally cannot stop laughing. It's Seto's face. It's Seto's face right there. That is killing me. Oh, God. I can't. I believed every word. I let her words embed themselves into my heart, and I would remember them forever. As Diana hugged Seto and I to her, the three of us let out a simultaneous sigh of contentment. Just 3. Ha! I would love her and continue to hold her close for the rest of my life. Nothing would be able to tear me away from her any longer. And that was my perfectly happily ever after. I'm thankful for you and you. Okay. Okay. Oh, enjoy.
Within the night, bathing in the firelight, a memory echoed within my heart. I called to you, lost and wondering what to do. You found me and you promised that we'd never be apart. I always knew I would find my way to you. The feeling deep within burns every day. What do you see when you're here holding me? I'll forever be beside you, here to stay. Let danger come. I am ready for the fight. I'll prove myself and know that we will be alright. Let's fly, my love. We'll reach the sky above.
Don't make me wait for you. I'll show you what to do. There's a place beyond where we can be free. Let's fly, my love. We'll reach the sky above. We'll soar like eagles through the breeze. With you, I'll fly so high with ease. Don't make me wait for you. I'll show you what to do. There's a place beyond where we can be free. Just you and me.
Okie dokie. Well, get that achievement out of here. I didn't achieve anything. Thank you. I don't want to see that again. Wow. Okay, well, that's all I'm doing for these routes. That's all I'm doing. You want to go see something else, go see something else, but I'm done with these routes. I will be back to do the extras. I will be back, not the extras, the bonus. Wait. You motherfucker. Alright, don't worry about it. I'll get them someday. I'll get those bloopers someday, I swear. But anyway, I guess I'm done. I'll be back to do the bonus, but we have done it. We have captured the main bay. Not just the main bay, but the main bay's pet. We got that one too, which is always a plus. So that was an interesting game. That was a great game. There will be more Seduce Me in the future, like the extra episodes. So you can look forward to that, but they'll be scattered. They'll be really scattered. And they show up and pop every once in a while. But anyway, another bay captured! All the bays captured! Actually, they're on my bay dungeon now. Go feed them, go pet them, and all that great stuff. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the bonus episodes. Bye-bye.